Buying a property is one of the most exciting things you would ever do in your life. And if you're a first time home buyer, it might be one of the most challenging or scariest things you would ever do in your life. I find that education is the most powerful tool that you can have in your hands. And today in this video, we are going to discuss all the questions that first time home buyers usually ask me. So we will give you all the information today so that whenever you're ready to go and dive into the market. Hi, I'm Harji Sidhu, Realtor with Remax Excellence, civil engineer and a construction professional. Our team has helped a lot of first-time home buyers in the purchase of their dream homes. And today in this video, I am going to share a lot of things that I wish I would have known when I bought my first property. So let's go into the questions. So the first question is, what is the minimum down payment required in Canada? This question comes up a lot, and it is true that you might be able to buy your first home with 5% down payment. It doesn't have to be your first home to buy your first home for 5% down payment, but this is also not fully true because you can only buy for 5% for the first $500,000, which means if your property that you're buying is up to $500,000, you have to pay 5% down payment on that. From $500,000 to $1 million, you have to 10% down payment on that amount, and anything over $1 million, you have to pay 20% on it, which means, for example, if you're buying a property for $700,000, for the first $500,000, you would have to pay $25,000 down payment, and on the $500,000 to $700,000, which is $200,000, you would have to pay 10% on it, which is $20,000. So in total, you would have to pay $20,000 plus $25,000, which is $45,000 is the minimum down payment you would need for that property. But there are things to watch out for here, which is if you're putting less than 20% down payment on a property, your mortgage will have to be insured, which means CMHC kicks in. So which means your monthly premiums are going to be a little bit more. And the other thing is, this is only applicable on your primary residence. If it's not your primary residence, then yes, you have to put 20% down payment on it. So the next one is also one of the very important questions that comes in mind for a lot of first-time home buyers. Is the home ownership right choice for me? So buying a first home is very big decision. So before you make a choice, or before you make a decision, because it's probably one of your biggest transaction of your life till now, you have to answer yourself these few questions, and which are you financially stable? Right? Because home ownership comes up with a lot of costs, which we are going to go through as we go deep into this video. Right, so you have to be financially stable before you think into buying a property. So the next one is, are you ready to take the responsibility of all the home ownership costs? Because with home ownership, you have to also worry about a lot of costs, because when you're renting, the rent is the maximum amount of money that you would pay for that property to live in that property. But if you are buying a home, the mortgage can be the least amount of money that you can pay for that property, because on top of mortgage you have to pay maintenance, you have to pay property tax, you have to pay utilities, you have to pay any maintenance fees as well, like a condo fee if that's a condominium that you're going to be living in, right? So you have to answer that, am I ready for all the home ownership costs? And the next one is, can you dedicate certain amount of time every week or every month for the maintenance of your house, right? Because home ownership comes with, you can have problems, you can have electrical problem, you can have plumbing problem, you can have, if you're buying in a detached property or a semi-detached property, you have to cut the grass, you have to, look after the landscaping as well, you have to water the, grass, and if you have a home garden, you have to take care of that as well. So it comes up with lot of potential time-consuming activities that you might not be aware of. And the last one is, will you have to move to a new city because of your job in near future? If you bought a property and then you have to move to a new place because of your job or your business commitments, then you might have to either sell your property or then rent it out, and then it can become a little complicated. But as long as you're very sure about your city that you want to settle in, then it should not be a problem. So the next one is, and it's also very important, am I financially ready to own a house? So in this one, we are going to go through 2 affordability rules, how we are going to determine if you are able to buy a house. Well, the first affordability rule is, as a general rule, your monthly housing cost should not be more than 32% of your gross monthly income, which is also called as your before tax income. This percentage is known as debt to income or gross debt service GDS ratio. Typically, housing costs would include following things: number 1, mortgage; number 2, property taxes and heating expenses or any other utilities; and 50% of condominium fees. And then the affordability rule number 2. In this, as a general rule, in this one, your monthly total debt load should not be more than 40% of your average gross income, which is also before tax monthly income. This percentage is known as debt to income or total debt service or TDS ratio. On a general note, CMHC restricts home buyers to a 44% TDS ratio to qualify for insured mortgage, right? And so now you're gonna ask me, what does my monthly debt load includes? That would include your any other mortgage payments, your housing costs. Housing costs would be the cost that you would need to buy your potential house that you're going to buy, right? We just discussed this in rule number 1, right? And your car loans or any lease payments that you're making. And the last one is any credit card or line of credit payments that you are making or you have a monthly, any commitment monthly for those. So the next one is there any first time homebuyer incentive programs in Canada? The answer to this question is yes. There are first time homebuyer incentive programs that is continuing to be offered to first time homebuyers in Canada, like RRSP, or this year the government started a first time homebuyer savings account, which pretty much allows you to save up to a $40,000 limit of $8,000 per year, which you can put into that account and also save taxes on that amount. And there are also some other equity sharing programs that government offers. I have done a full YouTube video on all those incentive programs. I am going to share a link below in the description of this video. Please go out there and check that video out. So next one is, I am struggling to keep up with the pace with which the market is growing. So how do I save my down payment? So the right answer to that is yes, you would have to come up with a down payment at least 5% if you're buying up to $500,000, right? And I have explained how it grows. And the first thing that you could try to do is maybe receive some funds as gift from your parents or relatives to help you with the down payment. If that's not an option, the other thing that you might be able to consider, or you should consider, is maybe teaming up with someone to buy a property. I have had clients who have teamed up to buy a property and they have bought a decent property. So this is something that you should consider, because the thing is, if you're trying to, at times when you're just trying to single-handedly trying to save for the down payment, and it might be a very uphill challenge for you because you're just chasing the train which is already at a full speed, right? So the thing is, you buy the property today whenever, with whatever you can, and then at least you're leveraging some money which is growing at the same pace with which the real estate market is growing, right? So you have a foot in that. Well, I'm ready to buy a house. Who should I call? But my advice is, before booking showings and working with a realtor and putting offers, always get yourself pre-qualified from a lender, which means you're going to go to a mortgage agent, or you might, if you want to go directly to the bank, go to the bank, submit your documents, get yourself pre-approval for a mortgage. That way you know how much can you afford in terms of property, right? And then that's also gonna really help your realtor to help you with the home search process, because he knows what to limit you guys up to. Because the thing is, we typical humans, we always try or want to buy beyond our means. How should you select how to hire a realtor? Well, wherever you want to buy, try to hire a local realtor, and if that's not possible, you're hiring outside realtor who is going to help you in any particular area. Just try to make sure that he is really good at his game and he knows about the properties inside out, and he is gonna help you with negotiating. Because the thing is, this is going to be your biggest transaction in your life, one of the biggest transaction in your life, right? And you have to make sure that you are really represented well. And then the next one, the mortgage agent, how to hire them. Maybe ask for referrals. Your real estate agent should be able to refer you with at least 2 or 3 mortgage agents. You go interview them, maybe ask for their reviews or maybe even client testimonials, and hire them. And then about the next one is home inspector. What is the job? A lot of times we put conditional offers which has conditions inspection clause in the agreement of purchase and sale. So in that, you hire a home inspector. We can talk about the home inspector cost. Home inspector cost in most cases is the cost of those is borne by the buyer. So you will be able to get the home inspector. He's gonna submit a report to you. The next one is appraiser. Appraiser is someone who would come out there, look at the property, inspect the property, and he will come up with the value, what is the value worth. And that is, a lot of times banks will need the appraisal prior to your mortgage approval process, because that's how they know what the property is worth. The last one is lawyer. The lawyer is someone who is going to represent you and protect your interests in this whole transaction. And a lot of things that he does on top is he also provides you with title insurance to protect you from potential title frauds, and he is going to review all the documents prior to letting you buy the property. And if there's any issue with the title, he would also let you know. So my last piece of advice in this video is whenever you are buying a property, you can probably take 2 approaches, right? One is the emotional approach, because if you're buying a property as a first-time home buyer, it can always be overwhelming with the emotions and maybe potentially take wrong decisions. But at that time, if you have hired a competent realtor, his job is to keep you under check, to advise you the best that he can based on his knowledge, and also to protect the best interests of yourself. The next approach that you can have is the numbers approach, right? The numbers never lie. And whenever you're doubting something, or you can always ask your realtor to come up with the CMAs. CMAs are the comparative market analysis of the similar properties that's either been listed or on sale in the neighborhood of the property that you're interested to buy yourself, right? So numbers never lie. That's gonna help you with taking a very sound and educated decision. This business at the end of the day is market driven. There is no right value how much your house is worth. Your house is worth what a potential buyer is willing to pay for it. Thank you so much for watching my video. I promise to keep coming up with similar content, and I'll keep hard working on my content. Please like and subscribe my channel.